came to get a sunset, but the sunset did not happen. I've gone for a very negative space style image, 2 filters on, so I've got 6 stop and a 10 stop. All these little wild flowers and these pink, I can't remember what they're called now, old metal bridge going across there to the lighthouse. I just think it's pretty stunning. I'm going to say a fine and dandy hello and relatively good morning. I am out near the seaside. I've come to one of my favourite little park ups, relatively quiet, nice little spot to stay. And I came to get a sunset, but the sunset did not happen. It was grey and miserable. So I had a bit of an early night, didn't get up in the morning because I knew that it was a sunset location, not a sunrise. And I decided to get up this morning, take my time, have a walk along the beach and wait for the tide to rise, because I've been here many times to the church in the sea and I've never seen the tide around it properly. So I'm here on a higher tide and I'm going to get a little bit of a minimal shot, and I'm going to get my old Maven filters out and I'm going to do a long exposure and try and smooth everything out and make a very minimal, simplistic shot of the church in the sea as an island, which is something I haven't done very often. So that's the plan. I just need to make my way along the beach and get myself set up. Alrighty then, so the camera is out on a tripod. I've got a couple of shots that I'm thinking, one a little bit closer to sort of segregate the island and make it look like an island and a little bit of blue sky. And then because I've got a little bit of interest in the sky itself, there's a little bit of a line, like a weather front that's leading through. I've gone for a very negative space style image. So the sky is the main part of the image. And what this would do, I mean, if you're going to put this on a postcard or a billboard or a magazine, you'd have all that room to write in the top and talk about this little church in the bottom there. And the last time I was down on this beach, I actually got talking to a couple that were getting married in that church. And I thought that was awesome. And if you're watching this and you got married, please send me a photograph. I would love to see your wedding photos of you two in this little church in the sea. It would be amazing to see. So please do, if you do watch this. So that's it. First shot, very simple, very plain and blue and minimal looking, and I quite like it. And with these conditions, actually saying these conditions, there is some mega ballistic clouds behind, proper cumulus clouds that are rolling up. If they come over this way, it could get interesting. Oh, and by the way, I'm back on the Osmo. So I've got myself another shot set up. I've walked around a little bit further now and it's definitely segregating the island, and I've put the church bang in the bottom of the middle of the image because it's really central. It really works because then it looks like an island around it, and I've still got this bit of a weather front leading over the top, which is giving me a bit of texture in the sky. But what you can see, because the tide's at that level, you can just see the rocks, which gives you that bit of a path that's leading you in, and there's a bottom little rock in the bottom right hand corner which is giving you an anchor to the image, which I think works really, really well. So this one is another very simple, very plain shot, and again, for the conditions, it's not bad. So just on the camera settings, really, you want the best quality you can get for the image. So I've got my lowest ISO, so on this camera is 125. There's not a lot of movement. The water is so still, so perfectly still. We haven't got to worry about movement. And working in aperture priority, f8's giving me a nice depth of field, giving me a lot of image. A lot of the image is going to be in focus, and I'm not worried about the shutter speed. And it was around about 500 a second, something like that, which is fine. Right, it's time to get the Maven filters out, and I want to show you this as well. Maven has sent me their brand new case as well. I've got a couple of other little bits from Maven. I'll do a separate little tag on video for that. But this is their brand new case. This is the case that I've been waiting for to put the filters in. It's got a nice waterproof zip around the side. You've got the O-ring or the D-ring on the back, so I can put a lanyard on it and attach it to my tripod. And of course it opens up nicely, and you've got all these separated pouches, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different little slots in the back there for keeping all your filters in. So yeah, thanks to Michael for sending us that. It's a great addition. Now I don't have to use the brown one that I've been having, so perfect. So I stuck the 10 stop on, and one of the Maven filters, that's the gold one, and I'm not getting much of an exposure. So I'm going to try something random, and I'm going to whack out a 60-second exposure and try and smooth all that water out and make it perfectly smooth. I don't know if it's going to make a difference to the image, but we'll give it a go. So 60 seconds, away we go. 2 filters on, so I've got 6 stop and a 10 stop, and I'm just guessing the time. So So I want to interrupt this little video just to add a small clip about this. These are the Thrunite Catapult Mini. They've sent me the new one. This is the Mini V2. Virtually the same size. It's millimeters different in size to the Catapult Mini. They both have very similar on and off power buttons. They both have the little blue buttons on the side when they're operating, and they both one press switch on and off. The Mini 2 retails at $39.95 compared to the Mini, which is $49.95. The old Mini, which is this one, this has a output of 680 lumens. That's in the turbo mode, and the high is 235 lumens. Our new one has 1100 lumens. And now on our high level it will run for 68 minutes. On our low level, which is our Firefly, it will run for 85 hours. Now our Firefly, you basically press and hold, and you see it comes on with this very dim little light. This is perfect for reading maps or the back of your camera and stuff out of anti-dazzle. Press it once, you get the normal light come on. The normal light, this is a low light, this is 70 lumens, and as you can see there, if I hold it up behind me, somewhere there, 70 lumens. If I press and hold it again, it goes up a bit brighter, that's taking it up to 160 lumens. If I press and hold it again, it goes up even brighter, that's higher still, that's 331 lumens, that's 68 minutes. And if I double press, you get this super turbo mode. Now the super turbo mode will run for 80 seconds before it drops down to 358 lumens, which is a run like that for another 62 minutes. Now this thing is IPX8 waterproof, which means you can drop it in water up to 2 meters and it will survive. It's also a 1.8 meter drop resistance. If you drop this, it will survive if it bangs and knocks itself on a rock, which is 1.8 meters, which is about 6 foot, so it's as high as me. If I drop it out of my hand, it should be just fine. It's got a maximum throw of 515 meters, so it means it's really going to throw out some light, and there is a slight difference in the light to the old one to the new one, and I think it's quite a good upgrade, and I'm just going to quickly show you that. 90 gram weight, excluding the battery. Okay, so it's quite lightweight. You can see behind me I've got the old one on this side and the new one on this side, and basically the old one is like a slightly warmer light to the new one, but as you can see the new light has got a bit more of a throw to it compared to the old one, which is a very spotlighty, very tiny spotlight on it. So if I press and hold them to go up, you can see they both go brighter, and this new one you can see is definitely spreading the light a lot more and still giving you that intense beam. And if I press and go up even brighter still, you can see there how the new one is giving you much more of a scope plus a small beam in the middle, so you've got some way of directing the light, whereas the old one is just really a small spotlight and doesn't really spread the beam out at all. Right, we're on turbo mode now, so you can see that the light difference is a lot brighter on the new one. And if you triple press them, excuse my strobe lights, 3 presses, you get these strobe lights and you get some real dancing lights going on. And if you don't like strobes, you really shouldn't be watching this. But you can see that the strobes, and I've just blinded myself, you can see the strobe lights are very bright. If you look inside the front, you can see that there's a little bit of difference between the old ones and the new ones. The new one has got a very clean, shiny interior, whereas the old one's got like a 3 little section inside it as well. But yeah, both very nice. They both got a aluminium feel to them. They both got that knurl, and they're so small they fit in your hand. This is the perfect little torch to keep in your pocket. It's extremely bright. And so that's all I want to do. Back to me doing whatever I'm doing, wherever I am. Ciao for now. See you soon. So I've changed location. I've actually come up to South Stack, a place that's very overly photographed. But I was hoping I was going to get a bit of a sunset, just for a bit of a contrast from this morning and being at the church in the sea. I'm not sure whether I am or I ain't, but I've got a few hours to sit here and think about it. So at the moment it's looking pretty interesting, so I'm going to get the camera out, put it on my back, go for a little bit of walk. It's a bit of a chill in the air even though it's warm, but it's interesting looking, so even if I just fill in my boots with some more photographs, I'll be happy. But I did take a picture just now. The Stana Stairline, I don't know why I said that. The Stana ferry was coming in, and there was a sea mist, and it looked really spooky and eerie, like a ghost ship. So I took a picture of it, long lens, 300mm. I put it up on the screen. It's quite a tasty looking little image actually, because it just looked really eerie and looked like a ghost ship. It's really quite weird. But yeah, I'm going to get the camera out, go down there and see if anything happens. It's got some really nice light rays and patches of light across the sea, so I reckon we can do something with it. Alright, I'm out the van and I've just come to this little location just here, because this little patch here with all these little wild flowers and these pink, I can't remember what they're called now, but these little pink flowers on the side here and these rocks and everything with South Stack behind it just looks absolutely amazing. What a perfect little picture this is going to be. So I'm going to get the tripod out, set it up, try and sort out a little composition with this on the top right, this on the bottom left, and a little bit of light going on in the background, but this is going to be a right pretty little picture. So I've come a little bit closer now and I've put the wide angle lens on. The problem with a wide angle lens though is it's actually bending the lighthouse a little bit, so I might have to try and bend it back straight again in post-processing. Getting the horizon straight is one thing, but with the wide angle lens and the way the lens distorts, it's definitely forcing the lighthouse out at the top a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. But I've got such a lovely little array of the flowers and that in the foreground, it really is a shame to actually have that lighthouse bent, but there's not a lot I can do. I can need the wide angle lens to try and get all these flowers in. I think those pink ones are called, is it Thrunite? Something like that. If it's not, put it in the comments, let me know. But yeah, this is really quite nice because the lighthouse is really standing out because the sea behind it is really white where the sun's shining on it, so it just makes it really pop from the top of that little cliff. And the flowers really do help to make this image quite pretty looking. Chocolate boxy, that's what it looks like. So I decided to make myself my way down these steps and have a bit of a look, because that's puffins down there. I'm sure there are puffins, billions and millions or thousands and hundreds of thousands of puffins down there. So I'm going to go down and have a look. Even though these steps are hell of a workout for your legs, I'm going to go and have a nose and see if I can get a little bit closer and maybe get the long lens on and see if I can get a couple of interesting shots with puffins in it, because they look amazing. I'm sure they are. I can see them swimming in the water and stuff like that, so I'm almost positive that's what they are. So let's go and have a look. So I was definitely wrong. They're not puffins at all. As I've got a little bit closer, I put the longer lens on to have a bit of a snipe in and get a bit closer, and they're not. Whatever the black and white birds are, you know me, I'm not a naturist, I don't know what these things are. But they're exciting anyway. There's still thousands and thousands of them, so I definitely want to try and get a couple of pictures that look a bit more interesting than the long distance wild snap. So this has definitely got to be a shot, I think. I don't come down here very often. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I come down here, but to get these metal railings in and this lovely old metal bridge going across there to the lighthouse, I just think it's pretty stunning. And the light's diffused enough in the top there just to add a little bit of interest to it. The birds, I can't believe how many birds are down here, and it's fascinating watching them as well. But I'm going to get another shot of this and then yeah, just watch the birds, I think, for a little while. Well, that's it, I'm afraid. I went up to the little shed at the top to have a bit of a nose up there, but the lights just dropped off. I'm not going to get any colour, which is no surprise. Doesn't happen all the time, but very, very pretty. I think I got a couple of nice shots. It was great to see all the birds as well. I'm just going to make my way now back down to the van. I am definitely ready for a cup of coffee. Got to find myself somewhere decent to park that's flat and out the way. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Don't forget, like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop us a comment, tell me what you think, and yeah, please join me next time. God knows where, I don't know where, but I'll definitely be out somewhere. Ciao for now, see you soon.